that time of the year, Gaffer, where you've got decisions to make, or are you at the point before the season's finished that you've already made those decisions?
I think what's important is that you give yourself as much planning time as you can, and there's a lot of things to think about. There's a lot of things to mull over, and players want them decisions. You've got to be mindful that you've still got 2 games to play, but I think you've got to have that honesty and be honest with players. I never have that problem in terms of it's always professional, it's never personal, it's always a football decision that I stick to and the reasons why, and I can look people in the eyes and give them that honest assessment or reason, why they're not getting an extended contract or potentially why they are, and it's not something that I struggle with, but it is something what if you've had a relationship for a few years with players, it's always still hard to tell someone that they've not got a contract somewhere. So we're going through it as we speak now, and I've had a week sort of doing it this week so that we can really prepare for next week's game and get that right.
This isn't a decision you make suddenly, is it? This is a decision that probably takes a season to make.
Oh, without a doubt, and you summarise it, you analyse it, you review it, what you're looking to do next season, how you're looking to progress, how we're looking to get better, and do them players fit into that plan still. Football evolves, football moves on very quick, and we've made decisions off the back of intel, detail, the dynamic of the squad, and obviously of results this season. So it's one of them that takes hours and hours and hours, and having the right people in the room and really knowing what you're trying to achieve going into next season.
Of the 8 out of contract there, where are you with players like Craig Jones?
Jonah, we're going to exercise a right that was in his contract to take up further option on Jonah. He's had a fantastic end to the season, but it's coincided with him being on the training ground more. Jonah's now found a guy who's really stabilised his body and stabilised his groin area where he had a lot of problems. He's got his body composition and just changed that slightly. But Jonah had been on the training ground every single day since he's had his run of form, and it's been vital. It's been vital for Jonah's next part of his progression, and I've been delighted with him. There's always an honesty and an enthusiasm and an hard work with Craig Jones, but what he's been able to do, he's been able to add to that this season, technically and tactically, and that's a lot of hard work on the training ground in the classroom, but Jonah's committed to that. So delighted that Jonah can spend some time with us again next season.
A big one for the fans is Ryan Lowe. Where do you stand with Ryan?
Since Christmas and the injury problems, I think Ryan going to Crewe give Ryan a verve for playing football again, and he went there and did fantastically well, which obviously we got him back in after his run of games, and he's been superb for us this season. He really has. I've been able to offer him a contract for next season, based on more of an appearance-based contract, and we're just in discussions with Ryan to see what he wants to do, and to see where he's at with it. It will be Ryan's decision on where he needs to be and whichever course he takes. One thing I can tell you is that he's been an incredible servant to the football club, and again, doing this early is probably down to the decision to make sure that Ryan either stays with us or has an unbelievable send-off, and that's something that you can't do that with just 2 or 3 days to go or after the season. One thing I was never going to do is tell Ryan at the end of the season, generally after the last game, 2 or 3 days after, you get all the players in, do a summary and assessment, and then obviously do your retainer list and your release list. So that's something that I've really thought of hard, that if we can get a decision where he wants to be next season, then that's really important for the football club to then get the next part right or the next phase right.
Danny Pugh, I was calling him the quiet man because he just seems to come in and get on with it.
More than that, Tony Pulis has not kept signing him, and for him not to be more than that. Trained every day. He's come start of the season. I told him there's nothing for him when he first come in. Just come and train with us, and every single day then he's talking about. We're talking about him, how well he did in the training, and how well he did in the running, and he's had a fantastic season. We've offered him a contract on reduced terms, due to the budget being cut. We've had to offer him reduced terms, and we're in discussions with Pugh, so we'll see the outcome of that over the next couple of weeks and see if that unfolds.
Reese Brown.
Yeah, unfortunately with Reese, we're not going to look to extend his contract beyond its length. I think there'll be suitors for Reese, but again, looking at the overall picture, the overall budget, I've got to make sure that next season we have enough players, and Reese doesn't fall into that next season. So that's something that I can only thank him for what he's done this season, helping us maintain our league status, and he will go with our best wishes, but I've told him to remain very professional and positive for the remainder of the season, because he's still in the shop window.
One player for me that I really wanted to do well and get there and get it all sorted was Keil O'Brien. He always seems to have problems with injuries.
It's been an horrendous 2 years in terms of Keil and the progress. He's someone at 6'5", and he can pass a ball, and he's a good defender that we had the highest hopes for to come in from non-league and really take his game to the next level. Unfortunately, with the injury he got at Luton in his debut, he's not just been able to recover, and after that there's been series after series. Obviously he's been out on loan a lot this season. We've got good recovery on his wage. Been to Halifax, been at Chorley, and we've had good recovery on his wage. But still, he's someone that I really wanted, like you say, God, to do fantastically well. And because of his injury record, obviously we won't be engaging next season. And again, I hope there's a club out there for Keil, so he can showcase the abilities that he's got.
Danny Nardiello. Is that a difficult one?
I think that's sort of took its course, because obviously after last season he come back injured from the off season, and his training program was so stop start. He could never get into a routine. He's never gained any momentum, and season out of football, that's, like I said before, it's 200 training days, and Nards hasn't been able to do enough of them. So we'll be releasing Nards, and hopefully, he'll get fixed up and get himself sorted.
You've told the players how difficult is it, a decision to, obviously there's a lot of thought gone into it. Is it actually a difficult process to sit down and tell a player?
I've had to do it quite a lot this season, because we've done the kids in the academy, the assessment nights, and that's tough when they're young players and you're telling them. That's tough. There's tears. The scholars are tough. First team professionals. Keil O'Brien had a dream to become a professional footballer, and he's not quite happened. That's tough. So yeah, it doesn't get any easier. But we've had, I always want to do it. I've always got in the back of my mind of the players that come in. Certainly, there's an academy story I heard the other day where we offered him a contract, and he come round from the table, a 12-year-old kid, and give the coach a hug. He said, "You're going to change my life. Giving me this opportunity in the academy, you're going to change my life." So for every player that gets released, someone else has an opportunity to come in and really fuel it again. It's like life, innit? You've got the death, but there's always someone being born that same day. So you have got to move on. But no, it's not nice telling someone, because again, you get personal relationships with people. You understand that their families and why they do it for their families. So it's tough. It's tough, God. But that's why a manager is the manager, and that's why he has that responsibility. And I never shirk it. You never enjoy it, but you never shirk it. And I think if you're honest with players and keep it to football, I've known managers that it's been personal. and it shouldn't be. It should be a football decision, and the reason should be based on football. And I've stuck to that, and it's, you know, you try and make decisions based on that one factor.
You know them lads are feeling, you've been through the same thing.
I do, and I know how you come home and you've got to tell your wife that you've not got a contract for next season, and your kids you've not got a contract for next season, and that's the toughest thing. You know, whether, you know, I remember ringing my dad and letting him know, and you know, he weren't best pleased. So it is tough. It is tough, and but the players that will be successful in football and in life, they take it, they listen to it, and then they find the next challenge, the next obstacle, the next thing to fight for. And I'm sure this group of players will do that.